Oh my god, bull is taking off, guys. We have an airdrop in this. Let's see what our airdrop's worth. Mew Mew the Bull. How much exposure did I give them? I talked about them on stream. I put them on Kobe's twice. I put them on my gambles page. I bought in. I haven't been paid for this at all. Like, they gave me an airdrop and I didn't sell it. I've literally earned nothing from this project, and I've contributed way more than you know, the rest of their KOLs have. I'm up 2x on my Maestro buy. Our airdrop is worth about 3K right now. And part of me wants to sell it so we can do a giveaway today, but I'll pay the giveaway out of my own pocket, and we'll let this momentum keep going. You have to realize how many KOLs out there literally just bought into this, dumped it, and now they're gonna try to chase clout and promote it like, oh yeah, I've been in this chat and everything too. And that's the same with Optimus, and that's why I get so flustered and people take it the wrong way, but it's like, I literally called Optimus 5 times before any other channel. I put it on Kobe's page. I gave them free AMAs. Their team came to me and asked, do you want to be a partner for a bunch of supply? I said no, because I don't take partnerships in like meme coins when they're like a month old. It's very uncertain. It could have been a scam, whatever. So I literally said, I don't want your supply. I turned them down. It was free money. And I literally gave them 2 free AMAs since then, continued to post them. Meanwhile, they give airdrops to KOLs who literally post them on Twitter only when it's doing well. They never say, like, keep an eye on this dip long term. And they just ride the hype, pretend it's all them. No, it's actually the community members that were brought in from us early on that have had their eyes on it ever since. Meanwhile, I'm literally not even getting paid most of the time because I say no to like all the fucking paid promos out there. Best calls, best pre-sales, best AMAs, most amount of money given, most amount of careers help. They just brush it off like it's nothing because these guys cannot focus. They see all this fucking new plays and they want to get in early and they want to get a quick 4x and then they want to sell. That's not what we should be doing as a space in general. And I'm going to bust my ass this year. I'm going to bust my ass next year. And I'm going to just try to make it so people learn how to hold again and support the good teams and the good charts. And stop chasing all this DEGEN crap around. Like, we're literally feeding farmers every single fucking day right now. Because no one knows who launches what. It's all anonymous, burnt, renounced. So you're like, oh, it's safe. It's like, no, the team actually loaded 30 wallets on the floor and they're just going to dump it and abandon it. So like, this is a big rant I'm on here, but you know, I hope you get the gist of it. People who were in crypto at 2021, they know what happened when I started preaching about the beginning back then and where it got and how quickly it got there. Just buckle up, I guess, and stay here for the ride and pay as much attention as you can to like the private group and the streams, and I think we're gonna do very well here. Have to confess, it's a life-changing group, so educative. I appreciate that. Got Mew Mew from this group. I promise this is the best group to be in, no questions asked. A lot of supporters tonight. We love to see that. Let's not celebrate Mew Mew just yet, man. I want Mew Mew to hit like at least 2 mil before I'm happy. What's your opinion on the beef between Squid Game 1 and okay, I mean that's a decent question, I guess. I hate it. I hate the fact that someone had to launch a 001 and try to FUD the other one. If the project's going well, if the first mover is going well, and there's no reason to think it's a scam, we should not be getting behind a second mover with the exact same fucking name. Here's what I liked about the first one, alright? I'll show you what I liked about the first one. I said it in my post though. I said there's going to be a bunch of farmers and then they literally launched the same name that night. For one, the website's pretty solid, okay? That's what I like. Good little breakdown there. Impressive website for sure. Clean, straight and to the point. But I'll show you what caught my eye anyways, okay? Right here, this is what caught my eye. Squid Coin has no association with Squid Games. This token is simply paying homage to a meme we all love and recognize. It is a meme coin with no intrinsic value or expectation of financial return. There is no formal team or roadmap. The coin is completely useless and for entertainment purposes only. This to me makes me think that they know like they're a pretty good team because most people never take this into account. There's going to be issues when you go to list on CoinMarketCap and you go to list on Binance or whatever. Most people don't take into account there's going to be all sorts of like lawsuits and whatever. And so many projects in the past have run into that problem where, you know, let's take for instance Grok. And Grok all of a sudden gets a ton of hype. It gets on Elon's radar. Then he might come out and say, I'm not associated with that at all. And he'll just like completely hurt the project. Or people will just refuse to list the token. So for these guys to write this, which I've hardly ever seen on a meme coin, it makes me think, huh, like these guys are actually semi-legit to write that, And they've probably had a coin that ran into those problems before, which means they probably took it pretty far for it to get noticed by like a celebrity or coin market cap or whatever. And then to write this and just basically tell them like it's a useless coin and there's no value. That to me just won me over for the original Squid Game. And then I kind of shit talked the 001, and I'm pretty sure the 001's dead by now. So that's my like breakdown on the Squid thing, but I hate to see it. Like I said, I never want to see the exact same token come out when a first mover is doing well if the first one's not a scam. Grok was not really a scam at the end of the day. Like the guy fudded the fuck out of it on Twitter, but he failed to mention that like the dev has no tokens. It's a community run project. The liquidity's burnt, renounced, all that good shit. Like he failed to mention that the dev actually isn't an important part in that project. And then all of a sudden it paved the way for a new Grok to come out and start pumping to 5 mil. Like I hate seeing that. I'm not really going to get into many projects right now. I've been supporting Gorilla. It broke out today. I brought this to the private group like at launch. I've been telling you guys to buy all in here. So if you guys listen to me when, you know, all I do is preach how good the admins have been and whatever, I mean, it's done pretty well. It broke out a couple days ago. I haven't worked with the guy in a long time, but I know he used to be really good. So it's nice to see, you know, Gorilla and Moo Moo have just been slowly breaking out. If these things moon, I hope it becomes a really good learning lesson for people. I've been preaching, like, don't just chase DEGEN after DEGEN after DEGEN. Look at the ones that are holding better. And it's like, this one's probably a DEGEN at the end of the day, but it has been holding for a week now. And that's what I keep trying to drive across to everybody. Stop chasing something or like being super FOMO because I want to know what plays have you guys discussed in the private today. I want to go back and I want to look and I want to ape them. It's like just stay in the present and see what happens, see what people are discussing, and you will find it. If you were too busy scanning through alphas last night, you would have missed Squid Games last night. We had that in our private group at 100k or so. Ended up being like a 30 or 40x. A lot of people printed on it. And then even after we printed on that one, I went and started telling people there's another Squid Games out. Some guy was shilling it super hard saying it's good. Some people bought in. They said, oh, I'm going to take a chance on it. And it ended up hitting 2 mil. So it was like another 20x. So that's why being in the present is going to be better than going back and scrolling, what did I miss? Will you be AMAing new tokens only or projects that have been building with utilities? We will take chances on some newer projects, but like, okay, this like something like Bull probably wouldn't be the best AMA because it's like a meme coin, and it's only based on a team that has a lot of marketing money, that has a good reputation, and that's what's driving that. So you can't really have an in-depth conversation on like what's gonna happen in 2 months from now and partnerships they're looking at. So it's just like picking and choosing between the serious plays or not. But most of the time we're not gonna want to like AMA with a meme coin, unless it's like been holding for a long time and has a solid community or whatever. Most people only care about money, unfortunately. Well, that's why I'm hoping like next year's our year, because once I show people what happens when you give someone like myself money. I mean, I proved it last time. When I made like however much I made, I gave away $1 million of it. Like no one's even come close to that. And some of these guys are out earning me. They've probably like earned double what I've earned in crypto, and they haven't given out a fucking cent. They've never spent time with their communities on voice chat. They've never helped try to educate people. All they did was look after themselves, and people just fucking ate it right up. Do you have a strategy on when to take profit? I mean, it depends on the coin. So have I called the coin or not? Like Mew, I've been supporting, so I feel like I don't ever want to sell. I don't want to wreck momentum. The chart's it's looking to break out. I don't want to be the guy that causes a little bit of a panic sell and brings the chart back down. So all that kind of plays in, but like basically my rule of thumb is if it's a DEGEN, I take a lot of my profits the first day before I go to sleep. I leave a moon bag or something like that. And then if it's a more serious play, it's like I held Shido for like a year. So it just depends on the project and what I think about it. But obviously with DEGENs, they're more high risk. You should be like at least securing some profits depending on your risk tolerance and what kind of portfolio you're working with. For DEGENs, I'd say like, this is what I say. If you have a lot of money, like 10 grand or so, yeah, maybe you could put 1,000 or 2,000 into a couple long-term ones, and then use like 5 or 6 grand to buy some mid-term ones. Like Mew Mew isn't a mid-term one yet, but you see a chart that's like once it's like 2 weeks old and it's holding, and you think this might do a 4x one day, I think those are your best bets to be like consistent, and then have like a little DEGEN fund of like $1,000 or two, where you just buy some random shit and hope to get lucky. Like I could have bought this last night and made a 30x. Anyone in the private group who saw us talking about Squid Game all night, they could have made a 30 or 40x. So that's why it's important to have that DEGEN fund, because all of a sudden you make like 5 grand on a trade or something. Now you have more money to put into like the more serious plays, the mid caps. Sorry if I asked too many questions, but in general, how much did you gamble in the beginning and how much was based on infos? I mean, in the beginning, I was a complete noob. I came to Telegram and I knew nothing. I started to ask people questions. I learned a lot. I started teaching people after being here in a week, because I just asked all, like I would go into a Telegram group and this guy would be asking the dev all these questions. So I would DM him. I'd be like, why did you ask this? Why did you ask this? And he would teach me. And then I would use that and I would teach lots of people. And, people started trusting me, and then I formed my community. So like me myself, I think I put 5 grand in crypto to start, and I was down to probably like $1,000. And then my community started blowing up, and then I realized like I don't even need to trade anymore. Like all these devs respect me and like me. They're willing to give me like airdrops in my communities, like backing me on everything. I can turn this into something bigger. And then I didn't even trade after that. I hardly like ever traded at all. I can't imagine the stress that comes with being a large influencer in the space these days. I mean, most of them have no stress because they don't give a fuck, and they just take their money and they just dump bags on people, and they don't care if they call a rug. But like the guys that actually care about doing a good job and adding value, yeah, it's very stressful. Let's see what the private group's talking about. So they're just discussing our AMA. And people overlook discussions. They're like, I don't want to read like educational stuff and discussion. I just want plays thrown into my face every 5 minutes so I can try to flip them. It's like, you are not doing this the right way. Look at me. I have access to all sorts of alphas. I had this alpha last night on TERT. It literally hit 5 mil in one night. I had it here at 150k. I chose not to buy. I have all those alphas and I hardly buy into new coins at the rate you guys are looking to do, with way less portfolio than me, way less connections than me, way less like experience and education than me, and you guys want to just chase every play. It's just not the way to do it. Like people think a million market cap is such a big deal right now, blah blah blah. If people learn to hold and support the good projects and not rotate into every next play, we're gonna start seeing 100 mil again and 500 mil again, and that's how you get normies into the space. And when the normies come into the space and they see, holy shit, a lot of these people hold their bags so well, they're gonna fucking tell their friends. They're gonna ape in, and that's how you grow the space and take this thing to the next level. But people just would rather sit there and get blown up by information all day long, snipe every single contract that gets launched, use all these different bots and scanners, and just try to buy everything and dump on everybody within the exact same community. It's all in Telegram, and they're all trying to like, PvP within Telegram on each other. It's like, no, we need normies to come in. We need our projects to start blowing up, start getting real life exposure by like celebrities and this and that. Because right now, people's thoughts about the space are it's too sketchy, it's too whatever. And I don't blame them. When you come into the space and the first thing you see is like some of these fucking YouTube guys or Twitter guys that are like just pump and dump garbage bullshit, yeah, you might have a bad opinion on the space. But if you found my channel and you saw the work we've done over 3 years, you probably feel a lot safer. What do you think about zero tax tokens with devs dumping on investors instead of low tax ones, which allow devs to market the token and make money without dumping on people? I mean, either scenario you brought up to me doesn't really matter. It's all about the team's intentions and what they do. Just because it's 0 tax doesn't mean the dev's dumping on people every time to make marketing. Just because the token's 1-1 doesn't mean the dev's actually going to use that money on marketing. Like I've seen a coin, not going to name it, but they had 1-1 tax on the entire time, and it literally hit like a huge market cap. They made $600,000 in their marketing wallet from the taxes, and they took off. It really depends how they use those taxes or if they use them at all. I personally would love to have a little bit of tax on each one, like 1-1 or 2-2, so the devs have like different kind of moves in their pocket that they could use. But yeah, as you can see, I mean, it's worth tuning in. I provided a lot of education tonight. We got a lot covered. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys come out next time, and I'll see you guys later.